Hey guys, welcome back to We Watched a Movie. It's your undiscovered paradise. It's We Watched a Movie TV edition. Jay, Mike, bringing you Sleepy Hollow. Hope you guys got to see the premiere. It was the pilot episode.
Yeah, on Fox.
The greatest. No, it's not. But it was good. This one was actually pretty good. I was kind of hesitant about this episode. I was kind of hesitant that the whole synopsis: Sleepy Hollow, Headless Horseman, Ichabod Crane. Been done a million times. I'll just watch the movie. But
yeah, I know, I'm not gonna lie. When I saw the trailer for this, I was like, I don't know. I mean, it could be good. And it's one of those things where just jumped on Breaking Bad so late. That's my water here.
Oh yeah. I thought we were talking.
We're
bad.
in the basement. I jumped on Breaking Bad so late and jumped on other shows so late that I wanted to start trying to catch these shows from the beginning. You know, if the pilot sucks, we won't do another one, but we'll just let people know should you get into the show or not. And I think this is one you should.
Definitely.
It looks cheesy from the trailers and stuff like that. Like, I mean, how do you make that a Fox TV show? Come on, Sleepy Hollow. I mean, how many times has it been done?
Johnny Depp's the best one.
Ryan Gosling forever.
I drive.
But yeah, so I mean, but when you watch it, it does have that cheesy effect. It is kind of like you really have to you do have to suspend belief for it because I mean, what it is this guy that it starts out and this is a spoiler review for people who have seen it, by the way, for the most part. It's this guy who comes out and then there's this freaky guy with this black mask on and they're in the olden times.
Looks like Kate Hodder from the British time. He has this like fucking Hannibal Lecter Jason mask.
Yes. And he injures the main guy and the guy cuts his head off. He becomes a headless horseman and then fast forward, the guy crawls out of this dirty ass pit and he comes out of the mud and he's in present day and the headless horseman's also in present day and the whole show was them like figuring things out, him trying to make people believe his story is true, him trying to stop the headless horseman, and these cops that are at the center of it trying to make sense of it all because it's completely unbelievable.
I like that. The whole thing with the synopsis, because at first I thought it was just going to be taking place in the 17th, 18th century, and I was like, I don't want to watch a show like that. But it actually is pretty cool. This guy wakes up in the 21st century, so in this episode you see a little bit of the 17th century. Every once in a while they'll flashback, but it all takes place in today's time, and it's basically Ichabod Crane trying to adjust to the idea that he's living in the 21st century and there's guns and shit. And he's actually really funny. The main guy, Ichabod Crane, is funny as shit. And then the Sleepy Hollow guy, Headless Horseman's running around, killing people, killing the sheriff in the very beginning, which sucks because that guy is the same guy. I don't know his name, but he was the guy in Pet Sematary 2 with the mashed potatoes. I like that guy. And I was like, oh, fuck, he's in this? And then it's like, he does.
I didn't get a chance to look over the cast and what their names were, but the main guy who plays Ichabod Crane, you're right, he's badass.
Doesn't he kind of remind you like House? Like the guy that played House, he's kind of like
charming in that way.
He's like a smart ass, but he's from the 17th century.
Yeah, but it's so funny. You got the whole fish out of water thing with him, and it's actually funny. It's kind of like in Thor when he's down there. He's like, "You dare point at Thor with those puny weapons?" Like he's kind of got that attitude. He's like, the main cop is a black chick, and she comes out, and he's like, "Oh, we emancipated." He's like,
I'll let you know. Oh yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, he's like, "I'll have you know." He's like, "If you're calling me what does he call? What does he say? If you're calling me a slave owner, I'm embarrassed." Or whatever.
Yeah, but every little thing he says, like, when shall I have these manacles off my wrists? Yeah. It's like, you can't.
And what is that?
Well, there's a scene like where he's driving in the police car when she's taking him back to the scene where he was resurrected, and he's rolling up and down the window. He's like fascinated by the whole thing, like it's an automatic windows going. He's like, it's pretty cool, like how they did it with him. I think it's cool. Like he actually looks like a guy trying to adjust to the 21st century.
Yeah.
And I don't know, man. Like throughout the whole show, it was cool, but I kind of thought it was gonna be like a dark, serious drama kind of movie or show. But it's more like lighthearted. It's a lot of comedy, lightheartedness, and then it goes to darkness, and then it goes back to comedy, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, and that's okay. And like I said, it is kind of cheesy and it's really unbelievable. I mean, come on, the fact that this guy is a possible murder suspect and they're letting him run around free, and the guy's like, "You two are my team on." It's like you just deputize this guy that's saying he's from the past. Like some of that stuff, like you guys suspend belief with.
We gotta say that really quick. One of the deputies in it or whatever is the guy from fucking
John Shell.
John Shell, yeah. And the guy that was in Eight-Legged Freaks is like the main FBI guy. You know, the guy with the big eyes. Like, he's always been in those comedy shits. He's the main guy.
Yeah, and he turns out to be not on the side of the Headless Horseman, but he's kind of one of his henchmen, and he turns on him or whatever. But what's badass is number one, how the Headless Henchman looks. How the Headless Horseman looks. He looks awesome. Like he's built.
He's wearing like
kind of scary.
He's wearing his old British Army uniform from the Revolutionary War. He's got like this fucking bandolier with shotgun shells. He's got like it's badass.
That was the badass scene. At first you're like, he's gonna have guns, and they shows him with the guns, and he's holding it perfectly, and you like I said, you have to suspend belief. There's some cheesy stuff, but like he's got these guns, and he's scary as fuck when he's got the guns. It's like the Punisher and the Horseman mix.
I didn't like get scared of him. I thought he was badass. Like I want to be his friend. But after that, there was a scary scene at the end of the show when they showed like there's apparently this big white demon man running around controlling it all.
They finally brought some horror into it.
Yes, and that guy's fucking like. There's a part where they break into John Cho's cell to question him, and he's been killed by this demon. But before that, he's talking to he's like, "Give me another chance." And you see this demon do this herky-jerky grudge shit. Like he's like there, and then he's like right there, and he's like appearing. I'm like, holy fuck,
freaky looking as fuck, man. And then when he goes back into that like mirror or that glass or whatever, and then all of a sudden he's like, oh, I was like, oh fuck, I actually a TV show got a jump scare on me. Yeah, so I was like,
I felt it, like I did. I was drinking a beer, and I was like,
So they waited till the last like minute of the show, but they actually added the horror aspect to it, which bumped it up huge in my book. So I mean, it's got that kind of corny like castle type of like lingo and like comedy going on with it, and it's got also like the action scenes in it, but it's got a pretty decent cast.
I'm not gonna say I already figured out what's gonna happen because apparently I'm just gonna say it seems like it sets it up for that. I'm just saying when they were talking about when the Headless Horseman slashes Ichabod Crane's chest and his blood spills out, and then Ichabod Crane, they mixed up. So apparently they're linked somehow, and that's why he's back in the future, or he's back in present days, because is the Headless Horseman raised from the dead now. Ichabod Crane's been raised from the dead, and apparently his wife was also a witch, which they really didn't explain that yet. But it kind of seems like they're saying, okay, well, the only way to kill the Headless Horseman, who, by the way, coincidentally is based on the he's one of the Horsemen of Apocalypse, which they get in that. It just seems like they're going to say, okay, the only way to kill him is you got to have Ichabod Crane die. Yeah. So it kind of seems like, okay, eventually they're going to have him give his sacrifice and kill him.
I could see something like that. So using the...
I'm done.
That's how you use your head. Eh?
Shit, it's the illness.
Head? Use your head?
That's never a way to get ahead in life.
It's like Wayne's World when he's talking to the guy with the weird eyes. Like, we always make sure to cross our I's and dot our lowercase j's.
You'll never be the head of a company.
His head fell off.
He was pretty old.
So guys, my rating, I'm going to give this a 7.5. Strong 7.5.
Yeah, I'm going to give it about 7.5. That's fine. I mean, it's a cool show to check out. I hope it lasts a little bit longer, and I hope it gets more, because next week's episode looks pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, it comes way too easily. Like, they just discover things way too easily. It's just kind of corny when it comes to that. But like I said, the horror aspect at the end was really freaking cool.
When you were watching it, when he was, especially you were talking about it, he was like, okay, you're on the team, go find him. It was kind of like the Hardy Boys.
Yeah.
You're on the team.
He's just going to throw him a badge and a gun.
Yeah, and then he goes, like, they actually send Ichabod Crane to the insane asylum, because that makes sense. This fucking guy is crazy. But he walks out of the insane asylum, like, in 2 scenes later, and he's still wearing his clothes. Like, where's this hospital guy? You got Nurse Ratched saying, no, you won't take it. But she's like, I'm a cop, fuck you, whore. Yeah. And then, like, it's like, but he's still wearing
and not just that, but the main cop guy was like, no, you better not do that. You better not. Okay, I'll let you do that. he's like, he doesn't want to know. He's like, oh, there's an apocalypse going on. I can't explain it. I'll be in my office. Tell me when you got some proof. It's like, how are you not like shitting your pants and trying to get to the bottom of this?
I know, he's probably like one of those wussies. He's like, I'm gonna be really strong right now. And he goes, it's like, okay, you can do that. He goes, but he's like, well, I'm gonna do it next time. Don't worry about it.
But guys, yeah. So that's our rating for it. What did you think of Sleepy Hollow? Are you interested in watching this at all? Will you add it to your Halloween repertoire of shows to watch? You like that big word using my head?
I don't even know what that means.
I think we killed that joke already. But
I was gonna say, this show is coming out at the right time anyway.
Yeah, Halloween.
Mid to late September and go into October.
But it's going to have to compete with American Horror Story.
Yeah, well,
Walking Dead.
I'm just glad they got other shows that you can actually tune in and watch during this Halloween season. And you're like, yeah, it makes me feel like it's fall and shit.
Yeah, that is good. I like that.
I like
what you did there.
It's fall on Fox.
So, yeah, I'm Mike. He's Jay. We'll see you guys next time on Are You Afraid of the Dark?
We watched a movie.